Subtitle. There is a way of praying that appears more than 10 times in the Bible. It's not just a nice phrase, it's a principle, a way of asking that, according to the text, makes things happen. Thousands of years ago, a prophet put it into practice and witnessed a miracle that, humanly speaking, had no way out. Since then, this same way of praying has been associated with people who got out of crushing debt, toward prosperity, from stagnation to new opportunities, from illness to recovery, from loneliness to marriage, from anxiety to peace, from the impossible to the extraordinary. But there is a condition, there always is. To receive, you first have to decide 3 clear decisions before you even open your mouth. And if you make them, as is repeated more than 10 times in the Bible, and as I'm going to explain to you step by step, any desire you carry in your heart can begin to materialize without exception. The story that reveals the power of this way of praying is in the book of 1 Kings during the reign of Ahab, a king who bowed down to idols. And then a brutal drought came over Israel. And pay attention, because in the end, you will understand why droughts also come into your life. Those periods when everything dries up, opportunities, motivation, answers. The prophet Elijah appears before the king and declares that he will pray to the God of Israel, who rules over everything, even over the weather. And he begins to pray. Silence, nothing changes. Then he tells his servant, "Go to the sea, see if any cloud appears." The servant goes, comes back, there's nothing. Elijah is unfazed. He keeps praying, sends him again, nothing, and so on, over and over again. The servant always comes back with the same negative answer. Any average person would have said, well, maybe it wasn't the right time. But Elijah continues. On the 7th time, the servant comes back and says, "I see a small cloud about the size of a hand." That was enough, a minimal sign, almost ridiculous, but enough for Elijah to know that the miracle was already on its way. Here it's not just about prayer, it's about drought. The drought first showed who was in control, and second revealed who Elijah was, because when everything dries up, it exposes who is truly connected. And yes, battles will come, droughts will come, dark nights will come, not to destroy you, but to show something, to build character, so that your story becomes a testimony. And this connects directly with the first decision you have to make if you want your prayer to work. Because the real purpose of prayer is not to convince God, it's to transform you, to move you to a state of consciousness aligned with what you desire. Jesus, the most documented figure in history, dedicated his teaching to this, the art of praying, the art of making the invisible become visible. And he said something radical. The miracles I performed, you can do as well, and even greater ones. In the Gospel of Luke, there's another powerful scene, a widow. And in that time, being a widow was almost synonymous with total vulnerability, without protection, without support. This woman was facing an injustice. She goes before a judge and asks him to act. The text says that this judge neither respected God nor people, so he wasn't exactly a compassionate person. He ignores her. She comes back. He rejects her. She returns again and again and again, until the judge, who didn't believe in anything or anyone, ends up saying, "I'll give her what she's asking for, because if I don't, she won't leave me alone." He was neither spiritual nor just, but he was worn down by persistence. Do you get the message? There's another story told in Luke as well. It's nighttime. A man is already at home. Everything is turned off, ready to rest. Suddenly someone knocks on the door. It's an unexpected visitor. In his culture, that wasn't optional. He had to offer food, but he didn't have any bread. So he goes to his neighbor's house and starts knocking. "Friend, lend me some bread. I have a visitor." From inside, the neighbor replies, "We're already in bed. My children are sleeping. Don't bother us." Closed door, perfect excuse. But the story doesn't end there. Lend me 3 loaves of bread, please. I have a visitor and I have nothing to offer. From inside, not even the neighbor responds. Don't bother me. I've already closed the door. My children are sleeping with me. I'm not going to get up now. Door closed. The excuse is ready. The perfect moment to give up. But no. The man keeps knocking. He keeps insisting. Not because he likes to make people uncomfortable, but because for him, it was a matter of responsibility. He had to respond to that visitor. He knocks again and again and again, until the neighbor, exhausted, gets up and gives him the bread. Not out of sympathy, not for spiritual reasons. Because of persistence. That's in Luke 11, verse 8. Now look at this carefully. The 3 stories we've seen, Elijah, the widow before the judge, the man knocking on the door at night, share something. 3 clear elements. 3 principles that turn a prayer into a real movement, that take you out of where you are and push you toward victory. But there's more. In the book of Samuel, there is Hannah, a barren woman. Year after year, she went up to the temple. She didn't just pray, she cried, she pleaded. She asked for a son. And every year, the same scene, people whispering, there she goes again asking for the same thing. They mocked her. You'll never have a son. Imagine that. To ask for something for years and have everyone around you tell you it's useless. But Hannah came back and came back and came back. Until one day the priest told her, God has heard your prayer. And Samuel was born. Then there's Daniel. Praying for spiritual clarity. Day 1, nothing. Day 5, nothing. Day 15, nothing. Or on day 21, still nothing visible. Many would have given up by day 3. Then he discovers that his prayer was heard from the very first moment. But there was a spiritual battle going on. The message was on its way. It's just that the process wasn't instantaneous. Listen carefully. Not seeing an answer doesn't mean nothing's happening. And now let's go to one of the most impactful scenes. In Matthew 15, Jesus travels to the region of Tyre and Sidon, a foreign territory. It wasn't Israel. They weren't his people. A Canaanite woman appears. In that context, someone considered outside the covenant, outside the system, outside the circle. Her daughter was tormented by an evil spirit. When she hears that Jesus is nearby, she doesn't hesitate. She runs to him and shouts, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. Silence. He does not answer. Not because he couldn't, not because he didn't want to, but because something was being tested. She insists. She keeps following them. She shouts. She doesn't stay quiet. And the disciples get uncomfortable. Send her away. She's shouting behind us. Jesus says to her, I have been sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Direct rejection. Anyone would have looked down and walked away. But not a desperate mother. Then comes an even harsher phrase. It is not right to take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. That was harsh in that culture, very harsh. And she responds with a reply so sharp it cuts through the air. Yes, Lord. But even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the table. She doesn't get offended. She doesn't argue. She doesn't back down. She holds on. And then Jesus declares, great is your faith. Let it be done as you wish. Let it be done as you want. That is power. That woman's desire was so intense that it led her to endure silence, rejection, and humiliation without letting go of her plea. When the desire is real, a closed door doesn't stop you. A drought doesn't stop you. Mockery doesn't stop you. A no doesn't stop you. You act, and that's where you keep at it. You come back, like Elijah, like the widow, like the man who knocked on the door, like Hannah, like Daniel, like that mother who didn't accept a limit. And that's where the pattern starts to reveal itself. Look how many times Elijah tells his servant, go to the sea, see if there are clouds. He goes, nothing. Go again, nothing. One more time, nothing. Nothing. until a tiny cloud appears the size of a hand. And that was enough to believe, enough to hold on to faith. The problem is that we give up before the fourth time, sometimes even before the second. We ask once, and if we don't see immediate results, we close the chapter. It doesn't work anymore. God didn't listen to me. This isn't for me. And that's it, the end. This teaching is repeated in the Bible. It's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. It's there for you to practice. All these people had something in common. They didn't accept no as a final answer. Elijah didn't stop. Hannah didn't stop. The widow didn't stop. The man with the loaves didn't stop. Hannah went to the temple every year. She cried. She pleaded. People made fun of her. They singled her out. But she kept coming back.
Si un juez injusto terminó concediendo por pura insistencia,
how could God not answer someone who perseveres? Jesus made it clear. If your friend doesn't give you bread out of friendship, he'll give it to you because of your persistence. But we do the opposite. At the first difficulty, we say, not anymore. At the first delay, we say, it wasn't for me. At the first closed door, I'd rather give up. And that's where the mistake is. Listen carefully, because something important is coming. 3 huge truths that sum up all these stories. Write them down. Share them. How? A. The man who heard no did not stop. The man of bread stopped, and difficulty wasn't the issue. Here comes the part that almost nobody wants to hear. There are 3 decisions you have to make, and many times we're not aware of this. Because yes, to receive, you have to give something in return, not money, not strange sacrifices, something deeper, internal change. Many people want a different result without transforming anything inside themselves. They want a new reality with the same mindset, and that's not how it works. Prayer is not about repeating words. It's about shifting your consciousness, aligning yourself with what you desire. You have to move to the state of someone who knows they are worthy, to the state of a child of God, to the state where your desire already exists. Jesus said it plainly. When you pray, believe that you have already received it, and it will be yours. That's where the secret lies. We don't think we have it yet, and if we don't believe it, we don't live it. To believe you've already received it, you need something first. Forgiveness. Cleansing. There are wounds buried in the subconscious, humiliations, betrayals, injustices. They hurt you for no reason. That weighs on you, and that weight interferes. It interferes with your frequency, with your connection, in your ability to feel that you deserve what you are asking for. Remember Elijah's drought. God allowed the drought. God allowed the silence, and He will also allow difficult moments in your life. There will be people who think they are destroying you, but many times they are actually part of a process that will lift you higher. Today, afterwards, elevation, then comes the testimony. Then comes the demonstration that they never had control. My mother always told me something that stuck with me. The good things people do for you, write them in stone. The bad things, write them in the sand so the sea can wash them away. That's not poetry. It's emotional strategy. Holding on to resentment is like trying to move forward with the handbrake on. If you want your prayer to work, and if you want it to move you toward your desire, you have to apply what you saw in all these stories. Perseverance without giving in to rejection, but also cleanse your heart, because accumulated emotions alter your internal state. And if your internal state is contaminated, your prayer loses strength. Let go of resentment. Let go of the need for revenge. Let go of the victim narrative. Understand that what God allows has a purpose. Look at Joseph. Even his own brothers threw him into a pit. They sold him as a slave. Betrayal at its worst. And what did he say afterwards? You intended to harm me, but God used it for good. That's the difference. When you understand that, your prayer changes, your energy changes, and your destiny starts to move. Joseph was betrayed, sold, humiliated, and thanks to that, he ended up being governor of Egypt. Do you realize that? What seemed like destruction was actually positioning. His brothers had to go to him for help. That's why I tell you, trust in God. But trusting isn't just repeating, I believe. It's letting go of what's draining you inside. There are emotions that steal your creative power, grudges that keep you tied to the past while you say you want a different future, and it doesn't work that way. I suggest something practical. Take a sheet of paper and write everything down. No filters. I have resentment towards, it hurt me when, I feel anger about. Pour out everything you've been holding in there, what they told you, what they did to you, what they never apologized for, everything, and then burn that sheet of paper. It's not magic. It's a symbolic act. It's like telling your brother, I give this up. I give up carrying what holds me back. I give up feeding the same story. Do it. Don't go into a new year, into a new cycle with the same recycled sadness. Don't keep dragging along what has already happened. The past has already served its purpose. Now it's time to look ahead. Second decision, let go of trying to control the how. This is where almost everyone fails. We ask for expansion, but mentally we've already decided it can only come through our current salary. We ask for expansion, but we want it within the limits we know. I've heard people say, don't ask God for money. Why not? Ask for whatever you want. Be specific if you want to. That's not the problem. The problem isn't what you ask for. It's the state from which you ask. If your heart is clean, if you insist, if you do your part, if you pay attention to the signs, opportunities will come. God won't knock on your door with a briefcase, but He can put an idea in someone's mind. He can open an unexpected door for you. He can connect you with the right person. It's happened to me, but what do? We start to think, and how is that going to happen? We put limits on the limitless. I'll give you a simple exercise. Before going to sleep, close your eyes. Imagine yourself picking up your phone. Feel the coolness of the phone in your hand. Unlock it in your mind. Go into your bank account and visualize seeing $30,000. Don't look at it with doubt. Look at it as a fact and give thanks. Go to sleep with that emotion, with that gratitude in advance. That is prayer. That is moving yourself internally from a state of lack to a state of abundance. But if you then say, impossible, at my job they would never pay me that, you just sabotaged what you asked for. Don't limit God to your current paycheck. Opportunities can come through paths you can't even imagine today. Anyone who needs to understand exactly how everything will happen is speaking from a low level of spiritual confidence. Those who understand spiritual laws know that the world has more paths than your mind can calculate. Everything can change in an instant. An unexpected favor, a call, a connection, and your life takes a turn. Third decision, let go of your current state. If today you have a problem, for example, a child in a difficult situation, and you are praying for their deliverance, you must first stop identifying yourself only with the problem. Today, right now, your consciousness is focused on, my son is not well. That is your dominant state, but if you want something to change, you have to start seeing yourself as the mother or father whose child has already been restored. You can't keep emotionally dwelling on the diagnosis while asking for the miracle. You have to let go of the identity built around pain. That means giving up your current state. Because as long as you keep holding on to this is how things are, you'll keep recreating the same thing. True prayer requires internal transformation. It's not about repeating words, it's about becoming the version of yourself that is already living the answer. Imagine that you're in prison. No one has to ask you what you want. The answer is obvious: freedom. If you're hungry, no one needs to explain to you that what you want is food. You feel it, you know it. That's how your desire should be. Not lukewarm, not doubtful, not just to see if it happens. Deep, clear, unquestionable. You have to feel deep inside that what you're asking for, your child restored, your marriage healed, your prosperity, whatever it is already fine, just as you desire. That is letting go of your current reality. Jesus told that woman, "Let it be done as you wish," and it was done. Why? Because her desire was stronger than rejection, stronger than silence, stronger than any obstacle. When desire is real, you don't need a plan B. I'm telling you from experience. When I started with these videos, nobody watched them. Nobody. Zero applause, zero validation. One day someone asked me, "What if it doesn't work? Do you have another plan?" No, I didn't have another plan. Why? Because when you give up your current state and hold on to the promise, you don't negotiate. But wait a second. If you're still watching this video up to this point, you have something that many people don't have, a real hunger for change. Comment, "My faith is stronger than my doubt." Because those who doubt, click off the video. Those who believe stay until the end. Elijah knew it was going to rain. That's why he insisted. He didn't insist on a whim. He insisted because he was convinced. When you keep asking, when you keep knocking on the door, it's because you know it's going to happen. If you didn't believe it, you would have already stopped. So go over this. First, cleanse your heart. Forgive. Do the exercise. Let go. Second, stop limiting God with your logic. Don't try to figure out the how. Third, and this is key, protect your energy when you see others have what you want. This is where many people fall. Sometimes God shows you our desire already fulfilled, but in someone else's life, and that's a test. How do you react? Are you happy or do you grow bitter inside? Never allow envy to settle in your heart, because envy blocks. It cuts the connection. It damages your vibration. The Bible says that even the hairs on your head are counted. So spiritual sacrifice is important. Don't worry. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry about what you can hold today. And if you can see it in your mind, you can also manifest it in your reality. But if when you see someone prosper, you say, "Why him and not me?" You're distancing yourself. Instead, bless. Bless the one who already has what you desire. Be genuinely happy. That expands your capacity to receive. Because the prayer that accomplishes everything is not a magic phrase. It's an inner movement. It's insisting like Elijah. It's coming back like Hannah. It's knocking on the door like the man with the bread. It's showing up again and again like the widow. It's not backing down like that foreign mother. The prayer that accomplishes everything without exception is this: not giving up. Persist. Keep asking. Keep believing. Keep knocking. If an unjust judge responded because of persistence, how could a good God not respond? But you have to let go of what holds you back, and you have to give up resentment, obsessive control over the process, and envy. If you do that, I'm convinced you'll see results. Any desire that is aligned with your faith can take shape, because for God, nothing is impossible. Anything is possible for those who believe. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for being part of this community. See you very soon in the next video.